Hello, 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 everybody. It is Burns. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Real Juicy Detox. Welcome to my beach room. I'm Burns. I'm your certified detox specialist. And today I am so excited to bring you this class all about protein and busting some really deeply entrenched myths when it comes to protein. How much protein do we need? Where do you get your protein from? You're not getting enough protein. And today I am so excited to come together with you guys again in another really beautiful class, interactive as always, where we get to talk about this whole myth around protein. I just noticed my iPad is not charged up. It's not plugged in. Let me do that now. So welcome everybody. If you are joining class, let me know that you are here. Raw Vegan Niece is in the house. How are you doing, my darling? Did you have a good day? I hope you had a good day. Janice is here. Hi, loved the fruit myth busting. Yeah, we're going to bust some myths. So let me know in the comments as you guys are watching this, what are some common protein myths that you have heard and that you have, since you've joined the Real Juicy Detox, that you've had busted? What are some myths that are very common around protein that you have heard, that you've believed in the past, that you have experienced people giving you pushback on? Let me know in the comments, because it is something that I think all of us have encountered when we go to a plant-based diet and then a high fruit plant-based diet and then a high fruit raw diet. Sometimes we can really get a lot of pushback internally for ourselves, right? Sometimes we can really doubt, what are we doing? Am I getting enough protein? Is this really the right way to go? Am I hurting myself? Am I, so let me know what you guys have experienced, what you've thought in the past before, and even some of the things that you have found are not valid whatsoever. Let me know what those are in the comments. Hello, Anne-Marie. How are you doing? I'm so glad to see you in class tonight. I hope that you are doing well. Consciousness is here. Hey, hello, 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 says Consciousness. So glad that you are dropping into class tonight. How is life in Trinidad and Tobago? I hope that you are doing well, and I hope that all of our viewers, all of our class members from all over the world are doing well today. I want to get started on this right away, so keep on tuning in, drop in the comments, and let me know who is here joining with us. The whole protein thing is one of my favorite topics to educate people on, because it is something that I struggled with for years. For years, I thought that we needed a lot of protein. I had a very protein-centric diet. At one time, I was part of a network marketing company that was very, very heavily focused on the protein and the shakes. And, they had a plant-based line, of course, because, try to get all the markets, right? The meat eaters, the dairy drinkers, as well as the plant-based people. But at the end of the day, what we need to understand are some really key points and really key elements about this protein obsession and how much it is driven. First of all, we need to understand how much it is driven by the meat industry. So today we're going to be busting some of those myths, and we're going to be setting the record straight, talking about the truth behind protein, and not just meat protein, because there is a very strong trend that is in the plant-based community that is so centered on beans as protein because it's plant-based. So great, we're not eating animals, we're not killing other sentient living beings for our oral gratification. Awesome. And for our addiction, which is quite frankly what it is. How do you know, by the way, little bonus question for all you kids who are here, how do you know if somebody is addicted to something? How do you know if you have an addiction to something? When somebody says to you that that thing that you're addicted to is not good for you, and you have big resistance in yourself, and you say, that's not true, that's a lot of BS, that can't be true. It's good for me. I like the taste. It's culturally, it's what my culture has been eating for thousands of years. When you have a big pushback inside of yourself, when somebody tells you, or when you start to really realize that this is really an addiction, and you have a lot of pushback, that's how you know you're addicted. You know you're addicted when the thing that you're addicted to is being removed, and you have a lot of resistance in yourself. So we're going to be educating ourselves about the truth about protein so that you don't have this resistance within you. Because when you understand the truth about flesh protein as well as plant-based proteins like beans, then you start to have a better grasp in order to really take your health into your own hands. Because a lot of people are out there eating beans as well, thinking that they're doing great things to their bodies. And a lot of really good people who are really doing what they're doing, thinking that they're helping their communities and their following. And at the end of the day, beans are it's a hard one to give up, because every culture has a beans and rice type of dish, right? So we're going to be talking about this. Really excited. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. Good evening, Sheila. I'm so glad that you are here. Barry, welcome to class. So glad that you are here. Hope you're having a good day. How did the all fruit day go today? Did you feel much better tummy-wise after breaking your 18-day juice cleanse? Let's give it up for Barry, guys. Let's ring some bells in here. Barry, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you started off so strong, my friend. 18 days is an incredible juice cleanse to start to kick off your beautiful healing lifestyle and journey with us here. So congratulations. Really, really proud of you. It's hard. The economy be down. Food is expensive. Oh, girl, I understand. I overstand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, you're lucky that you live in a tropical place where you can grow a lot of your food, where you can connect with the community who have fruit trees. Find somebody in your area that has mango trees. Ask family members. There are fruits growing plenty in Trinidad. I remember living in Trinidad. We had avocado trees, we had Portugal trees, we had guava trees, we had all kinds of ground provisions growing, although that is more on the starchy side of life. Ground provisions, for those of you who don't know, are root vegetables. But ask around, ask around to friends and family. Hey, who has a mango tree? I'm looking for mangoes. I'm doing this juice cleanse, this detox, this fruit lifestyle, and I'm looking for some freshly grown mangoes from your tree. Ask around. You're fortunate that you're living in a tropical country. Find the benefit in that. I know it's expensive. I know. Sheila says, hey, consciousness. And consciousness was saying, hey, Sheila, I love the connectivity and the community aspect of the Real Juicy Detox. And I invite anybody who is not in our free Facebook community to click the link in the description of this video. And by the way, while you're at it, click that subscribe button if you're watching this on the YouTube, and like this video so that YouTube knows that more people want to see this and this gets out to more people. You can't control yourself. Yeah, when you're addicted to these toxic things, we develop an addiction to the chemicals in our food, and we develop an addiction to how stuff tastes. It's all, for so many of us, this is wrapped up in our culture, our family, our home. At the beginning of 2020, when all this stuff was going on with this virus, I was at home at the cottage and cooking up all kinds of my Trinidadian favorites. My pao, that's a pork char siu, barbecued Chinese pork in a bread bun, basically. And I was making that up. I was making up all kinds of stews with all kinds of meat and just eating to comfort myself, because it was a reminder of home. We are so closely tied in what we eat to our culture as comfort food. Can anybody else relate? Did you let me know in the comments if you had the experience of during March, April, May, especially in the beginning and all of last year, which was a virtual what show, a lot of us turned to our cultural favorites, our family favorites, our comfort food that when we eat it reminds us of comfort and home. Unfortunately, a lot of that food is extremely toxic to the body, and we get into this cycle where we get addicted to it and we can't break that cycle, and that's okay. But learning about what we're doing to our bodies through opportunities like this is going to help us look at our food differently. It's going to give us a whole different perspective of what our food actually should be and what our food is doing to us when we ingest it and when we take it in, because these things are very important. We don't want to grow older. We don't want to grow older in pain. We want to grow older in vitality, in health, in energy, in life force. And we don't have to go down the road of degenerative diseases, which our entire family history has suffered from because of all these culturally ingrained foods and lifestyles. So that is what we are doing when we are taking part in these types of classes, where we can really learn and truly understand what these types of proteins are doing to our bodies. And if we want a healthy, energetic, vibrant life, we must eat healthy, electric, vibrant, energetic food that has beautiful cellular dynamic energy, that is not stimulant energy, as we're going to see, which is the case with meat. So I'm really super excited for this, because the more we understand, the more we can do better. The more you know, the more you do better for yourself. You know what I mean? You can't unlearn this stuff either. You can go back to your ways and then can suffer the old symptoms that you were experiencing when you were eating that way before. And the beautiful thing is that even if you fall off the wagon, you still know that the wagon is here to jump back on, right? Anne-Marie says, yes, I always heard that when I went vegan, I needed to take plant protein powder. And that is completely a marketing scheme. That is a marketing scheme. Plant protein powder is cooked and processed. Most of the life force, if not all of the life force, has been processed. It's heavily processed food. And as we're going to see, our body actually requires very little protein to actually function on. So that is just a huge marketing scam, a marketing gimmick. And I fell for it. I fell for it at one time, not that long ago. Never understood, if it's plant protein powder, why take the powder? Just eat the plants. Crazy. Exactly. I mean, common sense isn't that common though, right, Anne-Marie? And I'm talking about for myself as well. Mike, I didn't have this common sense before, but it's like, it makes sense, right? Plant protein, eat the plants, get it directly without it being processed and ground up and cooked and all of that stuff. Barry says, thank you. I ate a lot of watermelon today and feel great. That is beautiful. Way to go, Barry. I'm so proud of you, man. And Sheila says, way to go, Barry, as well. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. Raw Vegan Niece says, when I went to see a nutritionist when I first went vegan, she tried to tell me that I needed beans and protein powder to get my protein, and she was so wrong. I fed into it, and then I found out it's not true. And you know how you can tell that it's not true? Because look at how much better you feel now on a high fruit, raw, or mainly raw, or all raw diet. Look at how much better you feel. This brings up a really good point as well. Be careful of who you take your advice from. There are so many nutritionists and naturopaths and naturopathic doctors out there, and they are all chasing the same protocol, which is a medical model. It is not traditional naturopathy, because traditional naturopathy uses the power of plants and alive living food in order to transform the body from the inside. It is not about any nutritionist that recommends you take any vitamin supplement other than vitamin B12, any vitamin supplement, any probiotics, any beans, any kind of fish. I've seen that on nutritionist protocol. For acidic conditions, they're advising people to eat fish and more red meat because your iron is low. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Be careful about who you trust. Be careful about the information that you are accepting as truth. These are things that we really have to be conscious and be aware of. You know what I mean? Nothing could be further from the truth, as we're going to learn tonight. Hello, Cindy. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you are here, babe. How are you doing? I hope that you are well. Oh my gosh, I miss you. I miss you. Consciousness says, oh yeah, my body needs way more than before, like 3 boxes of banana a month. I'm just shocked because I used to only need one box. This is amazing and crazy. And what we're finding is that this is not a deprivation diet. I know a lot of people come to this work because they want to get their energy back. They want to lose the weight. And they go into this deprivation mode when in truth and in fact, we need a lot more dense, beautiful, nutritional, dynamic energy for our bodies to do the work that it needs to do, especially if you have a degenerative disease or a degenerative diagnosis. There's no such thing as disease in the naturopathy world either. In the true naturopathic world, it's not that we have diseases. Diseases are conditions quoted and labeled and named after doctors who want their egos further inflated that, ooh, I discovered X, Y, and Z disorder. No, it's not about that. It's about cleaning up the terrain in which your body exists. This is all our terrain. Everything inside of this skin capsule, in this meat suit, is terrain. And when you clean up the terrain, you clean out the cause of the symptoms that you have. All of these symptoms that we have, it doesn't matter if you have asthma, it doesn't matter if you have meningitis, it doesn't matter if you have cancer, it doesn't matter if you have allergies, it doesn't matter if you have IBS or arthritis, everything boils down to the same thing. Our terrains are so dirty and so backed up that we have to really be diligent about cleaning our bodies out. But we need a lot of nutrition to do that. And we need a lot of dense nutrition. And it's not about calories. It's about how much dense nutrition can we get into our bodies so that this dense nutrition is also dense in electric, alive food. Thank you so much. Squeeze it. Dali just squeezed my juice for me. Did you wring out the rag really well? Yum. Thank you, babe. And it's so important to remember to keep our food intake really high on this kind of lifestyle, because the more electric food you take in, the more detoxification you're going to experience, the more weight, therefore, you're going to lose, because the inflammation is caused by a high acid situation. Your body needs to detox all of that out, and you need a lot of this beautiful fructose and glucose from our fruits and from our vegetables. And yeah, our ability to eat, I found that as well, consciousness. Yesterday, my lunch consisted of a really large fruit salad. It had 2 bananas, 2 large nectarines, like they were big, 2 plums, a big handful, maybe a cup of grapes, half of a mango. I would never have been able to eat that before for lunch. And I ate most of it. And then the leftovers I ate before bed. So we need a lot of food. This is not a deprivation program. I want you guys to get that through every cell and every essence of your body. This is not about depriving the body. Not about and also I had a question that somebody asked me. I just saw it right before class. They were saying, I'm feeling really thirsty. No, sorry, not thirsty. I haven't been peeing a lot. Is that normal? I drank 64 ounces of juice. And I said, I would recommend drinking double that amount, so 4 liters of juice, in order to properly hydrate the body. We are in this, we don't understand how much we should actually be eating, because we've been, drowning under this myth of less calories in, more calories out means I'm going to lose weight. That's not how it works, guys. It's the more alkalinity in, the more acidity out, the less inflammation. Inflammation is weight gain. The less cholesterol. Cholesterol is weight gain. These are buffering systems that our body jumps into action with when we are more acidic and more inflamed. And your excess weight, your excess pain symptoms, your excess IBS, your excess brain fog, ringing in the ears, stiff joints, any disease condition, it all boils down to the same thing. Excess acids creating excess inflammation, excess cholesterol in the body. So yeah, eat it up, baby. Eat it up. We need to consume a lot of food. If you're ever hungry on this program, you're not eating enough food. If you're restricting, if you're counting calories, you're not eating enough food. Eat more food. Eat more food. Yes, consciousness says, great job, Barry. Keep going on, my friend. Yes, indeed. Keep going on. Barry says, Sheila, thanks. I really appreciate all of you. We're going to be getting started with our class in just a moment. This is the beginning of class is always for the warm up, for reconnecting, for laying the groundwork of what we're going to be talking about during class. So thank you guys so much for your comments, and the interaction is phenomenal in this class. You guys, honestly, you make this all such a dynamic class. I love that. Thank you. Yes, I was eating tons of rice and beans, learned so much since then. And don't you feel so much better? Man, the rice and beans is just a killer. It's a killer. Every culture has a rice and bean dish, though. Hi, Judith. Hi, Bern, says Judith, and everyone drinking super ripe bananas, lovely dragon fruit, a little water, and passion fruit smoothie. Woo, that sounds so tropical and delicious. Oh, my God. This will fuel my husband and I all day while we work, starting Juice Feast on Monday. Yeah. So the juice fast that we are doing, or juice feast, actually, that's what it is. Let me tell you what, it's a juice feast. We're feasting on juice, or you can feast on smoothies, or you can feast on fresh fruit all day, but we're feasting starting on Monday. And I can't wait, you guys. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Does freezing food destroy the nutrients? Actually, the absolute polar opposite. Hi, Renee. How are you doing? Food, excuse me. Let me just do this. There we go. Freezing food actually preserves and captures all the nutrients without destroying them whatsoever. That is why frozen berries and frozen vegetables, although frozen fruit is really ideal, frozen vegetables, sometimes they tend to blanch that and, quickly zap it with hot water. So that's not always 100% raw, but fresh fruit is. So fresh fruit is amazing. I always have several bags of fresh fruit, frozen fruit in my freezer, and I get mine at Costco because they have the best organic frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries, frozen pineapple, and frozen raspberries, all organic. And I get those, and it's so good. It's so convenient. That's what Dali's been having every day, all throughout the day, and sometimes, occasionally now, having some raw food for dinner, but doesn't destroy the nutrients. It is actually of great benefit. So keep on. Yep, raw vegan niece says, I fell for it in the beginning. Yes, indeed. We all did. The banana myth. Consciousness says, hello, Judith. Sounds amazing. I drink banana smoothies every day. Thankfully, I live in the Caribbean. So in this summertime, fruit is bountiful. Yes, indeed, consciousness. All the protein we need is in the fruits we should be eating. Exactly. The fruits, the vegetables. We're going to be talking about all of this right in a few minutes as soon as we catch up on the rest of the introduction from the class. This is great. Judith says, been eating this way for 35 years. Girl! Amazing, amazing. Had my bloods done and they are perfect after 7 children and 14 years, day and night breastfeeding. You would think this raw vegan mummy would be walking dead, and quite the opposite, right, Judith? That is incredible. That is such a testament to this lifestyle. Wow. Imagine what our lives, guys, for the rest of us out here who've been playing the ass with our food and our bodies, playing the fool, whatever you want to call it. How many of you wish that you had started this 35 years ago? I mean, wow, Judith, that is amazing. If I may ask, Judith, how old are you? What age did you start this way of life? Because that is amazing. I just came from Sehar and her beautiful family today for lunch. And by the way, I will put her daughter's Instagram link in the description of this video, because Aaliyah is 12 years old and she has been doing this raw vegan lifestyle for almost a year. And there are no signs that she's going to be slowing down anytime soon. And it is so invigorating and enlivening. Can we, by the way, can we drop some amazing yays for Aaliyah? Let me start that chain. 12 years old, man. Can we drop some love in the comments for Aaliyah before we get started with this class? She's 12 years old. Check out her Instagram page, blissful_bites_co, and go and check out her stuff. Read the captions. 12 years old, wise beyond her age, absolutely a giant and a goddess. She is incredible. And how she's healed her body in the last year, eczema gone, and her skin was cracked and it was burning and she had it all over her elbows, her arms, her leg. I'm telling you, absolutely amazing. So go and check her Instagram out. It is incredible to see people's kids so young getting started in this lifestyle and really embracing it and becoming passionate about sharing it. Oh my gosh, she is such an inspiration for me. The teacher has become the student when it comes to Miss Aaliyah. And I am honestly, if you guys are not following her, you are missing out. She just started her Instagram page April, I think, and she is prolific on Instagram. Get in on the ground floor of blissful_bites_co, because I'm telling you, watch this girl rise and shine. I'm not even kidding you. It's incredible. Judith says, I'm 60 next year, met my husband at 20. He had read Dead Sea Scrolls where Jesus says to eat living food. So we did, no looking back. Absolutely. It's right there. It's right there in the Bible. Eat living food. Eat living food. If you want to have a bright, brilliant, vibrant life, you need to eat food that is full of bright, brilliant, vibrant life. And that is not found in cooked, dead, decaying food. I started following her today. She is so wise. Is she ever? Aaliyah, you rock and are a huge inspiration. Isn't she, though? Barry says, Aaliyah, that's awesome. You'll be able to help a lot of young people. She's already doing cooking shows, live cooking shows with her friends, showing them and she's so smart, showing them how to cook and uncook, because it's all raw, these beautiful alternatives to the junky food that we have grown to accept as food, which is not food. It's not the frugivore diet. It's not the Homo sapien food, It's not the Homo sapien food. Let me just scroll up here. Consciousness says, I wish I had been eating this like this my entire life. And the benefit for you, Consciousness, is that you're so young. You're in your early 20s, another beautiful, brilliant young student. Ringing some bells here for Consciousness, because, yeah, you're on the early path of this. All right. Consciousness, you also said, what I've heard? I heard that they fib about the amount of calories, vitamins, nutrients in animal products. So people think that they're getting all of these things, but they're fooling 100% straight up. In fact, if you think that the nutrition that you're getting in cooked foods is still there once you've cooked them dead. You've cooked them out. The nutrition that we get from our food has to involve the enzymatic action, the action of enzymes to break down the food so that we can properly digest, absorb, and utilize those nutrients. But by cooking and overcooking and having the majority of our food being cooked food, we cook out those enzymes. So the stuff that they say is in there, vitamin C, for example, is temperature sensitive. It's not going to have, if anything that's being processed, that's being cooked, all those protein powders, they are all lies, because a lot of these nutrients are heat sensitive. They die, they become inactive, dead. You're making expensive urine when you're buying all these vitamins and these supplements and these fake foods. That's why so many of us walk around with cancer, because we have such low vibrational food, dead, void of nutrients. So understanding this, it's so important to understand these things. And we're going to get into the class with the class notes in just a minute. This is are you guys enjoying this discussion? I hope you're enjoying this discussion. This is so great. Desiree says, yay, I made it. Hey, Burns. Hey, everyone. Hello, indeed. So glad that you are here on the live, Desiree. Miros is in the house. Good evening. Oh my gosh, such a brilliant. Hey, Talia is here. Hi, Burns and friends. Happy to be here with you. Hello, Talia. I hope Aubrey and your son, Ethan, are doing well. Excuse me if I keep forgetting his name. I'm sometimes bad with names. Judith, that's awesome. Do your kids eat raw? Great question, Barry. Great question. Wait, yes, we have a new student in class. I saw this as well. Where are we? Star, yes. Hello, hello, Star Vern. Star Vern is in the house. You're brand new here, Star. Welcome to class. I'm so glad to have you. Everybody give a big, juicy detox welcome to Star. It's always so great to have new students in the class, isn't it? This is awesome. Oh my gosh, and you're glowing. Look at you. You're beautiful. So glad to have you here, babe. All right. Let me see. I hope I got everybody. Hello, Carol. And Carol, you're the envy of all the kids in class today and for this past week with your profile picture with our beautiful Dr. Morse. Man, is he ever looking vibrant? Does he just emanate a vibration and an energy when you're just in his field? What is that like? Drop that in the comments, Carol, because oh my gosh, and in this picture, in your profile picture, he's just looking so like, you know, here I am, 70 years old. He's going to be 71 this year. Wow. Dr. Morris, we love you. We love you so much. Currently juicing while attending class. Awesome. On day 15. Thanks for what you do. Becca. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you are here. Welcome to class, babe. This is so cool. Lauren is here. Hello, Lauren. So glad that you are here in class. Where was I? Yeah, consciousness says, I'm telling you, Burns, I was making a cooked thing for my grandmother and I couldn't bear it. It smelled burnt. Like, how do people eat that? Right? Well, we all did, right? We all did. It's just ignorance. Dr. Morris said, by looking at my eyes, he said, I need to do more detoxing. Yeah, we all do. This is like a long journey, and the eyes do reflect our level of detoxification that we need to do. It takes a long time to change these eyes, the irises, and I can't wait to do the iridology course so that I can bring that knowledge to you guys on how to read your eyes, your irises that show all of the lymphatic stuff that's going on and everything that's going on in the body. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Yes, Star is new here. Welcome, Star. Janice says, Doc told hubby he should not be eating pineapple or very many fruits since he is pre-diabetic to eat more meat. So now he will not do any juicing. Janice, please direct your hubby, God bless him, to go and watch yesterday's class all about sugar. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called. Oh, for the love of fruit. He needs to go and watch that. And he needs to see, you know what he needs to see? Let me just pop this up on the screen real quick. What he needs to go and see is, you just show him this. You just go and show him this. All right. You go and show him this and then ask him to please, okay, he'll listen to your doctor. Can you listen to one other perspective on this and understand, because your doctor doesn't understand the first thing about chemistry in the body. That's a lie that your husband is being fed. That is a lie that we have all as a society, we've been fed a lie. We've been fed a lie. David Black is one of our students in the class. David, if you're watching, pop in, say hello. And David got his blood sugar from over 410 points down to 209 points, all on high fruit, raw lifestyle here with us at the Real Juicy Detox. So just let your husband know that these kind of results do not come about from something that is causing diabetes. He's wrong. The doctor is wrong. categorically wrong, and he needs to fire him, quite frankly, because he will tell him to keep eating meat, which, as we're going to see in today's class, is one of the most destructive things that you can do to your body. So let's see if we can jump into this real quick. I'm going to come back to your comments, Judith and Consciousness, and we're going to get started right now on our protein class. It's protein myth bustin' time. And I thought it would be really funny to just have a little look at this, because it's a funny meme, but it's not so funny. Interesting lecture on how muscle mass is built with a plant-based diet, right? Says it all. Don't need to say anything else about that. That is just hilarious. I love this. This gorilla is just sitting there going, let me explain this to you. Let me explain how I do not eat the flesh of other sentient beings. And I eat the living food that gives me all of these muscles. You ever wonder where a cow gets all that big muscle mass that we're eating? Cows are actually intermediaries for our actual supply. Where do cows get their protein? From grass. Where do these big, strong, muscular gorillas get their muscle mass from and their protein from? I want to acknowledge again that these notes and this class is thanks to the Detox Miracles Sourcebook and thanks to Dr. Robert Morse. I'm a Dr. Robert Morse certified detox specialist, and I love teaching on the subject of how to heal our body with the power of living food. This class is going to be all about protein, and let's settle in. Keep the conversation going in the comments. If you find something that is really striking to you, jot it down in the comments and we will discuss. So let's start. Protein structures are built from building materials called amino acids. They are the building blocks, the building materials that your body requires and uses for building, for growth, for maintaining, and for repairing itself. Proteins are the nitrogen-based substances of a food, and a protein is a general word for the total nitrogenous substances of animal or vegetable matter. So it's really, really clear that we understand what protein is, and that proteins are amino acids. It's not really protein or structured animal flesh that we are really wanting in our body. It's the amino acids, these beautiful building blocks. The human body requires numerous amino acids, of which there are two groups. There are 11 essential amino acids that are said to be mandatory for proper growth and repair, and there are many non-essential amino acids as well. So how can the body use protein? As in the case with sugar, the body can only use simple, bioavailable amino acids. So if you refer back to yesterday's class, where we talked about the need for simple chemistry so that our body can automatically and immediately start utilizing and absorbing and utilizing these nutrients, we know that the body wants really, really simple chemistry. And the more we make that chemistry complex by cooking and by eating already structured chemistry, the more we are going to be taxing our system to break that down so that the body can actually use it. So as is the case with sugar, the body can only use simple bioavailable amino acids, the kinds found abundantly in vegetables and nuts. The proteins found in flesh type proteins, aka meat, must be broken down or hydrolyzed into simple amino acids before the body can truly use them. So a lot of people who are eating a lot of meat and thinking that they're getting all this great protein, they don't realize that it's not bioavailable. It's not bioavailable to the body. Meat is like a secondhand protein because of the digestion process needed to break down the complex, completed structures or building into usable, simple building blocks. So think about a building, think about a structure. What is that made of? If you live in a place where your buildings are made out of bricks, they're made out of building bricks, and they all come together with a lot of mortar, and it's stuck together and it's structured into a building. That is like when we eat meat. When we eat complex carbohydrates, it's the same thing. They're complex. They're made up of a lot of bonded structural elements. And with protein in particular, we want to have available, if we want to have those building blocks available to us, we have to be eating, ideally, the already ready to use building blocks, not something that is already structured in the form of, oops, I'm not plugged in, already structured in the form of meat. Amino acids become free agents for growth, maintenance, and repair in an alkaline or cationic environment. Remember, last day we talked about the different properties of an acid environment and an alkaline environment. So again, if you did not see the acid and alkaline class, I highly encourage you guys to go and check that out. It was really, really good. Broke it down really easily for you. But in an alkaline environment, what's an alkaline environment? An alkaline environment is an environment where we are infusing our bodies with high levels of alkaline food, not alkalized water, by the way, where you're going in and you're messing with the chemistry of water. We're not talking about that. This isn't a Keegan water thing at all. We highly recommend not going that route, but taking in the alkalizing, the cooling, the hydrating, the electrolytes that we have in our plants, in our fruits primarily, and in our vegetables. Highest electrolytes on the planet are fruits, followed by vegetables. So in this alkaline environment, which is the environment that we are providing for our internal terrain, our internal environment, because of the alkaline food that we're taking in and all of the acid food that we are leaving out of the equation, these amino acids become free agents in order to help us grow, help us maintain, and help us repair our body in an alkaline environment. In an acidic or an anionic environment, they tend to bind with minerals, metals, fats, causing further toxic conditions in the body. How do you have an acidic environment? By all of the stuff that we put in our bodies, by the food, by our emotions can be toxic as well. And when we have all of by the injections that we put in, of stuff that we put into our body, by all of these different mechanisms of stuff that we pretty much are doing to ourselves, that causes and creates a very acidic environment. And amino acids in the form of any kind of amino acids, well, if you're eating a high raw, high vegetable, nuts and seeds diet, you're not really going to be having an issue with those amino acids coming in and being in an acidic environment, are you? Because by eating those foods, by virtue of eating those foods, you're creating that alkaline environment in which those amino acids are helpful for you. But when you're eating amino acids that, first of all, are not bioavailable, have to go through all kinds of chemical and digestive gymnastics to break them down to be amino acids, then when they're broken apart so that you can use them, they're binding with other minerals, other metals, other toxicities, and causing all kinds of havoc in your body. You can eat all the protein you want. However, your body cannot rebuild itself without proper bioavailability of amino acids. I used to eat a lot of protein when I was on that fitness diet. Oh my gosh, 20 grams of protein 6 times a day. That is way more protein than a body needs. And most of it is not bioavailable. And when it is broken down, it was causing all kinds of, I was losing weight, I was leaning down, I was killing myself in the gym at the same time. But I was, for the most part, starving myself of nutrition. Foreign proteins from meats, dairy products, grains, eggs, and the like are abrasive to the mucosa of the body. And what is the mucosa of the body? It is that inner lining that is like, you know how you always have a soft lining on the inside of your mouth? It's all the same all the way down your digestive tract. The mucus, naturally lined mucous membranes of your entire digestive system, all of your organs, that is coated in a protective, soft, very delicate lining of the body. And these foods become like a scrubber going down in your system, like a steel wool scrubber, and we destroy our bodies. And then we're like going to doctors who are telling us that, oh no, don't eat fruit, eat beans and meat, because crazy, because the chemistry in your body doesn't seem to matter somehow to these doctors. It's insane. It's insane. It gets me going, y'all. I'm telling you. Some of the final digestive stages of protein matter result in the production of uric acid, which is abrasive and irritating, which inflames and damages tissue. What do acids do? They corrode, they kill cells, they make things stick together, they make things harden up, they burn, they destroy. It is very, very destructive, this uric acid. These uric acid deposits create arthritis in the joints and muscle tissues, and it creates gout as well. Very destructive. The more protein you put into your body, the more you overwork your immune system, the lymphatic system, the sewer system of your body. Think of it as a house. If you destroy your sewer system in your house, what happens to your house? Where you can't flush the toilet, where it all backs up. Pretty soon, where are you going to go to the bathroom? And your internal environment, your internal terrain is unable to have a properly functioning sewage system. Our kidneys are not filtering, our bowels are constipated, we're not eliminating properly through the skin. It's all backing up. It's all backing up the more you put this flesh protein into your body. And the more you also invite the parasitic kingdom to grow inside of you. Like these parasites and worms and tapeworms and all kinds of bleh. Number one, we're eating it when we're eating some of this meat that is just laden with the eggs of these parasites and the parasites themselves. And we're thinking that we're cooking it and we're eating it. It's all fine. And it's not. It is not. And also these parasites feed on the dead, decaying meat that is stuck in our gut. The transit time of meat is something like 70 hours transit time, bowel transit time, from the time that you eat it to the time you eliminate it. Whereas with fruits and vegetables, it's 3 hours. If you eat something with corn in it and your bowels are working properly and you go to the bathroom a few hours later, you're going to see undigested corn, which is really the only thing that you should be seeing undigested in your body. Undigested food, when you have a bowel movement, points to a weak pancreas, the pancreas producing the digestive enzymes. If you're not digesting your food, you're passing it out like you're taking it in. Corn is the only thing in that exception, because none of us can digest corn. You poop it out in the same way that you've eaten it. So this transit time is really important in the body as well, and we can talk more about that at length later. But if you think of these chunks of meat that are staying in your intestines and not eliminated for sometimes 70 hours and sometimes for weeks and months and for some people years, these parasites are there and they're feeding off of all of that stuck stuff. That is why we do a juice detox, a juice cleanse, to really get this all cleaned out and really support the body as it's cleaning out the digestive system. Because there's a kingdom growing inside of you guys, and it ain't no magic kingdom. Let me tell you, it is. It's a different situations. Many parasites, including many viruses, bacteria, and some big boys such as worms and flukes, feed on waste from flesh protein digestion. Eating meat causes body odor from the rotting, putrefying flesh within us. Yeah. Why do you think your farts smell like they do? Like something died and crawled up inside of you and died? Because you're eating stuff that basically you're putting inside of you that is dead, and it's staying there for long periods of time. And that putrefaction, that's what you're smelling. I'm not saying that on a raw food diet you don't have farts, but they don't smell like death, like something just died. They don't. It's a very different thing. And most of the time, it doesn't smell at all. It's kind of amazing when you clean out the body. It's kind of amazing. You see this. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever experience that as you go more on a raw food and a high fruit diet. How do your farts smell? my shit don't stink. No, I'm not talking about that. Your bowel movements still have an odor, but it's not the putrefied, dead, like you're passing something that died on the side of the road that's been in a hot, steamy, tropical. That happens in the tropics. I'm sorry. Let's pull it back. But you know what I'm saying? This is like dead, decaying matter. It's a real thing. So meat can become compacted on the intestinal wall, causing our mucosa and intestinal lining to decay along with the meat. So any doctor who recommends that you eat a lot of meat needs their license revoked. Seriously. Putrefaction changes proteins into toxic chemical byproducts. Fruits and vegetables, on the other hand, do not decay, and they don't rot and putrefy in the body, and they do not cause these problems. Proteins, when metabolized, leave behind an acid ash residue. Like when you build a fire when you're out camping and you have all these big, beautiful logs, that a big, gorgeous fire. What's left behind at the end of the fire? An ash. It's ashes. That ash that's left behind when we consume food, once it's all burnt up and utilized, leaves behind an ash, a residue, much like when you burn a log on a fire. And this ash, when tested, is either alkaline or acid on the pH scale, the potential for hydrogen. It's testing the potential for hydrogen in that substance. And when metabolized, proteins leave behind an ash that is acidic in nature that your body now has to deal with. Where is it going? Where's it going? This can create inflammation and can cause tissue breakdown, the opposite reason why we are told we're supposed to eat them. Because what's the myth? What's the marketing scheme? Oh, where's the beef? Eat more protein, chicken, eggs, all this dairy, all this stuff, so you can build strong bones and big muscles. When meanwhile, it's breaking down the tissue. Yeah, I'm not saying that if you eat enough protein, if you eat a ton of protein and you work your muscles hard enough that you won't be. I used to work in the fitness industry designing swimwear for bikini competitors. I've been around the fitness industry and the high protein drive industry for years. For 15 years, I had passion fruit designs. And I am telling you, there are a lot of raw and a lot of vegan and healthy vegan athletes who have incredible muscles, incredible definition, incredible health and vitality, not eating the flesh of dead animals. And they're not suffering the kidney failure, the adrenal failure. And I'm not just saying this hypothetically. I'm talking about my personal experience of designing for over 2,500 bikini clients. The majority of them, because I used to be on the phone with them, and it usually turned into a life coaching thing as well as a bikini design thing. And I talked to them before, during, and after their shows and became very close and very friendly with a lot of them. And I'm telling you, the majority of them, after their competition and for years afterwards, have extremely damaged adrenal glands. Adrenal fatigue. Oh, adrenal fatigue. Oh, my adrenals are tired. No, your adrenals are shot because of all the protein that you've been ingesting. And they suffer greatly. Arthritis in a lot of well-known bodybuilders. You look it up, they're suffering, and they are realizing the damage that this excessive protein has caused for them. So yeah, you can build up muscle, but you're not building up strong muscle. You're not building up muscle that is healthy for you, and you're doing it leaving behind a huge acid hit in the body. It has been proven that a vegetable diet supplies more bioavailable nitrogen than a meat diet. The body cannot use flesh-type proteins, grouped or structured amino acids, in other words, until it breaks them down into simple amino acids first. Plant proteins are simple structures of amino acids which are bioavailable and considerably less energy robbing. Because when you consider the amount of digestive energy it takes to break down meat, to break down beans, and to understand that there are 0 angstroms of energy left behind. Remember, we looked at this There's 0 angstroms of energy left behind when we eat meat. And it's the same thing for beans. The vibrant cellular dynamic energy is 0. It is 0 when we eat meat and when we eat beans. Plants being full of electromagnetic energy counterbalance this energy need. So not only are we not using a lot of digestive energy to digest our fruits and our vegetables, our nuts and our seeds, but we're getting a lot of energy back from it to the magnitude of a lot, like to the tune of 8 to 10,000 angstroms of energy for raw fruits and fresh raw vegetables, 8,000 to 9,000 angstroms. And if you cook your vegetables, 4,000 to 6,500 angstroms of energy. So that is pretty significant. Meat, on the other hand, is much more structured and it is electrically dead. This requires much more radical digestive process, which robs the body of vital energy, creating an energy deficit. Ask yourself, when you're looking at that burger, when you're looking at all that food, when you're out, all of it, when you're sitting down to dinner with other people who are meat eaters, instead of looking at that or eating all this other garbage food, fake, vegan junk food, I call it, ask yourself how much energy is on their plate for them and how much energy is on my plate for me. I don't care what other people are doing to their body when I'm sitting down next to them eating with them. I'd be like, yeah, I remember when that was freaking awesome. But I know that didn't make me feel freaking awesome when I was done with it. I know how I'm going to feel after my meal of beautiful, living, amazing electric food. And my food, it doesn't look like rabbit food, all right? My food looks amazing. Amazing. And again, I direct you to Aaliyah's Instagram page, blissful_bites_co, and have a look at what she's doing at 12 years old with this beautiful living food. So you want to look at food from an energy standpoint sometimes, not only looking at food from a reality that's a dead sentient being on somebody's plate that they're using to satisfy their addiction to eating flesh. Look at it just from an energy point of view. How do you want to feel energetically in your body? Do you want to feel dead or do you want to feel alive? I know how I want to feel. I want to feel alive, baby, because I don't like how I felt when I was feeling dead. I don't like how I felt when I was eating dead food. I was feeling dead. My body was drained of cellular dynamic energy, acidified up the wazoo, and bam, cancer, end stage acidosis. I did it to myself, but now I'm doing my healing for myself. I'm taking back my power with this information, and I hope that you guys are as well, because this is life-changing. Because of the high acidic content, too much meat protein has also been linked to colon cancer, the second largest type of cancer in America today. The liver, pancreas, kidneys, and intestines are destroyed when protein consumption is too high. Think of what you're doing. Think of what you're doing. Think of what you're doing. Just be aware of what you're doing. And if you want to continue to make the choice to damage and destroy your body, enjoy your suffering, but at least go into it with an awareness of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're destroying your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, your intestines, and all of your glands, starting with your adrenal glands. Like, is it worth it? It no longer holds the appeal to me that it once did, all of that garbage food. 20 to 40 grams of protein a day is plenty, but most people eat 150 to 200 grams of protein. How much protein do you guys figure you're eating? Let me know in the comments, how much protein do you guys figure you were eating before you started this? I know for me, I was at a minimum of 120 grams of protein. Oy vey, what I was doing to my body. Like, oh my gosh, but oy vey, what I'm doing to my body now. You know what I'm saying? I'm healing my body because I'm no longer consuming those things, and I'm consuming instead alkalizing food that is healing and healthy, detoxifying for my body. I love it. Let me plug my phone in 1 second. Okay. But I need meat for energy. We've heard this, right? We've said it ourselves. The energy from meat, though, is mostly from the adrenaline found in its tissues. This is stimulated energy. It is not a dynamic energy. It's not a cellular energy. It is not a cellular dynamic energy. The fear, think about this, the fear experienced at slaughter pumps the medulla of the animal's adrenal glands, producing epinephrine, aka adrenaline. Epinephrine is a neurotransmitter stimulating energy through the nervous system into the tissues of the body. This is what mostly gives meat protein eaters a sense of energy. However, after years of eating meat full of adrenaline, your adrenal glands become weakened and lazy at producing their own neurotransmitters. Remember, the body always wants to be in a state of homeostasis. So if you're giving it all of the adrenaline and more than it needs, the body is going to say, whoa, 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 hold up. Whoa, Nelly. Adrenal glands, shut it down. You don't need to produce anything because we're getting it given to us. And our adrenal glands produce neurotransmitters. What are neurotransmitters? That's the chemical and the food for our nervous system. Your nervous system goes down, your central nervous system goes down, your autonomic nervous system goes down, everything goes down from there. Your neurotransmitters are really, really key and important. And instead of shutting down the natural neurotransmission of shutting down the natural production of neurotransmitters, it's not gonna end well for us, is it? When we do that, we are completely killing off our adrenal glands. We need to stop this obsession with meat. This begins to lower your blood pressure. A systolic or top number less than 118 is low. As we begin to pass our adrenal weaknesses down genetically, future generations may see multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Addison's disease, and other neurological weaknesses from a lack of neurotransmitters. And I know that we have several students in the class who are actively working at healing these parts of these symptoms of acidosis, which shuts down the adrenal glands shutting down from all the adrenaline in the meat. God bless you guys. You got a big challenge, a big job ahead of you with this, but you're doing it. And I'm really, really proud of you guys for taking this on. When the adrenal glands become weak, we also stop producing adequate steroids. So the adrenal glands do so many. I can have a whole entire class on just what the adrenal glands do. It's really mind-blowing. But one of the main things that they do is that they provide steroids for our bodies, and these steroids are anti-inflammatories. It's what helps our bodies stay not inflamed. Meat is highly acid forming, which creates inflammation, and the cycle continues. So you continue to eat meat, your adrenal glands shut down, they don't produce the steroids that would normally swoop in to take care of inflammation. Inflammation happens in the body in a high acid environment, and inflammation leads to pain. Inflammation is the starting point of it's actually a protective mechanism that your body goes under when it gets too highly acidic. It rushes in with water to try to wash away that acid and that toxicity from your body. But the inflammation process, the inflammation buffering system is often not enough to deal with the high levels of acidity in the body. So the body has another buffering system called the cholesterol buffering system. And that is our body's ability to protect us from this high acid load by pumping in lipids or fat, because the lymphatic system, that sewer system that we talked about earlier, the lymphatic system, which circulates, it touches every single one of our cells. The bathroom, it makes up 80% of the fluid in our body. The lymphatic system is a lipid-based system. Lipid, because the fat content, the cholesterol content, is more viscous and can handle dealing with high acids way better than water can. So this cholesterol buffering effect is our body's way of protecting itself from increased acids, the cause of inflammation. The body will produce and use cholesterol in place of steroids where this inflammation is present, and when our adrenal glands are shut down from producing the steroids, which are the anti-inflammatory thing, right? The anti-inflammatories that our body naturally wants to produce, the adrenal glands can't produce that. So we kick in with the cholesterol buffering effect, and that is where we see more weight gain, fatty liver disease, all kinds of stuff. And actually in brown eyes like mine, I can actually see a cholesterol ring around my irises, which looks like a bit of a blue haze around, like a little like tape almost, like as if you're looking through, clear tape around my eyes, and it's a little bit blue. And a lot of people just think, oh, that's just because I'm getting older, and oh, that's the little cataracts that I'm having. No, honey, that's because that's your cholesterol buffering effect going on. That's your cholesterol dumping in the body. In the presence of acidosis, lipids, where was I? Yeah, in the presence of acidosis, lipids stick together and plaque themselves in and onto tissue. Energy from meat can also come from growth hormones fed to the animals for rapid growth. Energy should be dynamic or cellular, not created by stimulants. Dynamic energy comes from raw food eating, where alkalization, proper electrolytes, electricity, amino acids, proper synergistic compounds and complexes, vitamin, minerals, flavonoids, enzymes to even kick it all off are found. Meat is full of dead blood cells, which are full of iron, a mineral which, if consumed in abundance, can become toxic. And if any of you have ever been diagnosed through your blood work as being anemic, not having enough red blood cells, what is the one thing that all nutritionists are going to try to tell you to do, and all doctors are going to tell you to do? Eat more red meat, right? Eat more organ meat. Meat eating with vitamin C supplementation enhances iron absorption, thereby magnifying iron toxicity. So it's not about giving yourself more iron with these blood cells. It's about fixing the systems in the body responsible for proper absorption. Small intestines, fix the small intestine, fix the gut health, the GI tract, and the liver, the liver and the adrenal glands, which are responsible for utilization of proper iron. It's not about pumping your body full of dead blood cells. And the only way that you're going to heal the small intestines, the liver, the adrenal glands, so that you have better iron absorption from the food and from just everything that you're eating, your nuts, your seeds, your vegetables, your fruits, the only way that you're going to heal that is by eating those beautiful foods. I want to talk quickly about beans. You guys have been awesome. You're so attentive and you're so engaged in this. I love this. Keep the comments coming. Keep the comments flowing. And I'm going to be touching on all of them when I'm done. Got a few more slides to go here and 4 more slides to go here. And then class 4, the whiteboard section of portion of the class will be over. So congratulations. You're hanging in there. That's great. So let's talk about beans, because not only do I think a lot of people come into this vegan approach and this vegan lifestyle, and you do like I did. You go on YouTube and you look up, okay, vegan burgers. How do I make some? What do I do? And you start researching and you start finding all of these beautiful vegan channels, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like I could name off several that I really found at the beginning that I thought were so amazing. And the food that they were making looked so delicious that my mouth was watering. I couldn't wait to try them, only to discover that beans are one of the main things that these vegan alternative channels on YouTube are using as the mainstay of their meals. So I think it's really good for us to understand what beans are. And I know every single culture has some dish tied to beans, and usually beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? Palau, Trinidad. And by the way, I've got a really good option for anybody who wants to have a different twist on the beans and rice dish. We'll talk about that in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, because I'm going to drop the recipe especially for our Facebook group members. But let's talk about beans and let's understand what we are consuming when we are eating beans, all right? Because I think this is important. Beans are dormant foods. They're asleep. Enzyme inhibitors block the germination process by blocking enzyme action. And remember, I alluded to this a little bit earlier. You want to have your enzymes alive. Your enzymes need to be alive and active because they're the catalyst for the nutritional components of your food. If your food is enzyme dead, then you're not going to have your nutrients bioavailable for your body. So beans are dormant foods. Enzyme inhibitors block the germination process by blocking enzyme action, which allows for long-term storage without spoilage. Even though beans are rich in protein, even though beans are protein rich, they are acid forming and very hard to digest. It takes more of your systemic energy to digest, assimilate, and excrete beans than they give back to you. So again, you're in an energy deficit when you eat beans. So it takes a lot of energy to break it down, and there's zero amplitudes of energy that they're giving back to you. So you really want to think about that. How much of this food am I consuming? Am I receiving energy from? And how much am I like worse off for energetically speaking, energy-wise? It takes more of your body's systemic energy to digest, assimilate, and excrete beans than they give back to you. Simply put, they rob the body of energy in the final analysis. If you sprout beans, however, if you sprout beans or grains, you release the life force within them. You release the enzymes. Everything kind of comes together in a firework explosion of life. And in that process, you get all of this beautiful enhanced nutrition, enhanced energy, enhanced vitamins and minerals. It's like plant life starting to grow. You're eating living food. You've taken it from a dormant state into a living state. 100% of their nutritional content then becomes more balanced and more usable by the body. 1 cup of raw sprouted chickpeas is 38 grams of protein. That's a huge protein punch in sprouted chickpeas. And there are so many delicious recipes that you can make with sprouted chickpeas. I love making sprouted chickpea hummus. It actually tastes the same as cooked hummus, but you have the benefit of sprouting. And by the way, I've got some chickpeas sprouting on my counter. And tomorrow in class, I'm going to be making something really delicious. It's not hummus. It's something else. So make sure that you guys come to class tomorrow so that you can get brilliant ideas of how to add beautiful, living, vibrant, bioavailable protein to your diet without needing to go into cooked beans or dead, decaying flesh. They become chlorophyll rich. Chlorophyll has been called green blood as its composition is close to that of human blood. Isn't that amazing? Sprouts for the win, man. Let me know in the comments if you guys love sprouts. I absolutely love sprouts. Alfalfa sprouts, by far my favorite. I'm going to start sprouting some alfalfa sprouts. It's been a hot minute. Not only does it give you energy, but it also acts like an antioxidant, removing toxic metals and mucus from the body. If you want true bodily vitality and regeneration of these damaged tissues and cells that we have in the body, avoid unsprouted beans. Really simple. If you must eat them, do so in cold climates and never with rice, as you don't want to combine protein and starches at the same meal. I mean, that just goes counterintuitive to what we all know and what we've all experienced in our cultures, right? Every culture has a bean and rice dish. Every single culture has a bean and rice dish. To come to we have to start looking at things in a different way and be open to new ways of looking at things if we want to change our health. Because if we keep doing the same thing we should be expecting the same result and condition in our body, right? Do something different. Maybe we need to start re-looking at what we're doing here culturally. This causes even greater body enervation or, problems from the fermentation and putrefaction. When you eat a protein and a starch together, look at hamburgers, same thing. Got a meat on a bun. It produces fermentation and putrefaction in the gut, and it causes all kinds of issues. It causes bloating. So if anybody finds that they're really bloated after certain meals, look at what you're eating. What combination are you eating? A lot of times you can see that you're combining a starch with a protein. Health is energy, and energy comes from life, not death. As you begin to eat more alive foods, you will know firsthand the effects that meat and beans will have on your energy levels and your agility. We must look beyond our limited, culturally determined nutritional ideas to see the vast array of foods that nature supplies for us. All right, guys. That was the end of that section of the class. I realize that we've been in class for an hour and 16 minutes already. So let me see if I can get to some of these comments and questions that are here. Earlier, we were talking with Judith, and someone asked if Judith, if she eats raw, if her kids eat raw now. And Judith, you were saying that raw is easy in the tropics, lots of fruit, lots of coconuts. My 6 children eat vegan, but also eat some cooked. One is raw and bringing up his babies the way he grew up. That is awesome. That is amazing. And there's nothing to say. We're not saying that you can't have any cooked food. There are times when you can have cooked food. If you're not on a high detox level of your program, you can have some cooked food, but be careful with the food that you are cooking, right? You don't want to be cooking meat protein. You don't want to be cooking high mucus food. You don't want to be cooking too much at all. And I've really been experimenting, and I really prefer how I feel on raw. I'm satisfied. I'm full of energy. I don't have as much digestive issues, and my bowels and my body just flow and work so much easier on raw. But you can add in some cooked and still have a vital protocol. Judith also said, my eldest married into a meat-eating family, so he eats a standard American diet. She has many health problems and has lost her vibrancy. One day she'll come back to raw. Yeah, fingers crossed indeed, honey. Yeah, you can see the difference that it makes, right? It's incredible. How sad. Diabetes is mostly only affected by processed sugar. Processed sugars have a different effect on the body. Absolutely, 100%. Oh my gosh, Star is your mom. Hi, welcome, Mom. And she has a question. All right. Well, drop the question, babe. I'm here. Did you drop the question down here? All right, Star, let me know what your question is, sweetie, and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Fire away. Consciousness says, Judith, here's hoping. Some people go back for social reasons. We need to not lower our standards and stand our ground with that type of thing. Absolutely. The social pressure can really be rough, and the family pressure can really be rough. And then not having the real information on what this food is actually doing, that can make it rough as well. Right? So the more information that we have, the more power that we have, and the more informed decisions that we can make, and the more inspired action we can take when dealing with our health, because, oh my God, we're worth it. Hi, Carrie. So glad that you were able to drop into class. Carol says, yes, he looks so good in person, and the life force is definitely with him. Oh my God, that's amazing. When I see him again, I'm going to tell him about you, Burns, and how you're helping so many people. Oh my God. Yes, I would love that, Carol. Oh my goodness. I talk to him all the time, vibrationally and spiritually and energetically. So yeah, man, definitely let him know that we have been loving learning from him, and I've been enjoying teaching his work, and just totally honored to be with him in some way, even at now, like in spirit, you know what I mean? Yay, I can finally watch live. Ted, I hope you're still here. I saw when your comment popped in. I was in the middle of teaching, but I'm so glad that you are here and that you're watching life. You're watching life live. Oh my God, goodness, you're so funny. Oh my God. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad it's entertaining for you, Paula. That's awesome. Yeah, truthful. Love the high energy chart, right? That high energy chart. Let me pop this up for you guys again. Yeah, that high energy chart. It's so important to see this so that we can really understand what it is that we are putting into our body and the energetics that we're able to get from our food. You know, we're eating this food not just for the savoriness or for the sweetness or for the oral satisfaction. We're actually feeding our bodies. We're nurturing our bodies. We're giving our bodies the best option when it comes to our health, right? We're providing a beautiful, clean, healthy, pure terrain so that we don't have to suffer and struggle with dis-ease in the body. It's so simple. So simple. Lois! Hi, Lois. Yippee, I'm finally in class. Still not getting any notifications. Okay, we got to let that go, Lois. I always announce it in the Facebook group. Come to the Facebook group if you want to know when class is. All right, babe, give up the YouTube notification thing. It's not going to happen for you. But I thought I'd see if you might be on. Glad I did, even if I'm late getting on. Hi and hugs to you all. I love you, Lois. I'm so glad that you're here. I want to feel alive with lots of energy, right, Janice? Same here. Me too, says Paula. Yes, can you put the energy chart back up at some point? I did, so I hope you got that. Olga, I love you, babe. I love you. I was eating about 100 grams of protein, says Consciousness. Yeah, that's a lot, man. Me too. Me too. Didn't know. I didn't consume any real food, just pasta, rice, and meat. It was so bad. I know my digestive health was not good. It's true. Raw Vegan says, I'm on the pure adrenal support because my adrenals are down. Yeah, that is a really good support herbal tincture that you're on, and we should all be on that tincture, actually. Can't stand the sight or smell of meat anymore, says Carrie. I crave my grape juice daily now. I can't live without it. I crave juice too. Oh my gosh. After I came back from lunch with Sehar and her beautiful Aaliyah and Aisha and Amar, I was pleasantly, nicely, completely satiated. The only thing that I wanted this evening and this afternoon and this evening was my juice. And I had a big, huge 1 liter of tangerine juice, and it was amazing. I was just craving that. I just wanted the liquid structured hydration from our beautiful, amazing fruits. I'm drinking some watermelon right now. Paula said, beans, no wonder farting is associated with them. The body doesn't break them down, right? The body doesn't break them down. They're very high in phytic acid, and they're fermenting and putrefying in the gut as well. Yeah, our body, that's why it causes so much gas and bloating and discomfort, because our bodies are not meant to digest that food. It's not food for the Homo sapien. That is not what gorillas eat. Okay, so I know gorillas are not Homo sapiens, but they're pretty close. You know, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. And we have the same teeth structure. We have the same hand structure. We have the same gut length. We have the same hydrochloric acid. We are frugivores, much like the gorillas. We have the same structure. So they don't eat beans. They don't eat the flesh of other animals, right? They mainly eat fruit when in their natural habitat. We need to look at that. I love broccoli and alfalfa sprouts. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the broccoli sprouts. I have tried growing them when I heard that they were so high in glutathione and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, is it glutathione? I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't get into them. I don't like the flavor of them. When you say sprout the beans first, do you mean the dry beans? Sure, and it can't be any beans in a can. Yeah, you cannot sprout canned beans because they've been cooked. Can you sprout a cooked potato? You can't sprout a cooked seed, right? It's when you cook something, you completely kill the life force in it, and it cannot continue to live. These are all dried beans, never been cooked before. Do you eat the sprouts and the beans you sprouted? Yes. So the beans will shoot out a little sprout and a little root. And when you sprout certain seeds like alfalfa sprouts, you can get them really tall. I use my chickpeas sprouted when the shoot that comes out is about half a centimeter. So you eat the whole bean as well as the sprouts. Okay, so you sent it. So you wanted to ask me the question in private. No problem, I can do that. I also like taking questions live in class so that I can help you and help others who might have the same question. And then you can get support here as well. Yes, you have to scroll up to see her question. She asked it already. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me scroll up. Sorry about that, honey. Okay, I don't see it. I don't see it. Can you ask? Oh, okay, I found it. Yay, I found it. Hello, my daughter, raw vegan niece, has been trying to get me to change my way of eating, but I struggle with eggs and cheese. Any suggestions? I eat no meats, but seafood sometimes. So I need help because I suffer in pain every day. Oh gosh, babe, I'm so sorry to hear that you're suffering in pain. Any suggestions? Yeah, lots of fruit. You're just going to have to understand what eggs and cheese are doing to your body. Eggs are not even a good source of protein, and usually, again, we're addicted to the flavor and how we're cooking them and how we're so accustomed to eating them. But as one of my new awesome binge watching channels calls it, they're henstrations is what they are. They're the menstrual cycles of chickens. And there's no merit to eating them. You're going to have a lot of very high acidosis and toxicity in your body. Your body odor is going to change if you eat a lot of eggs. It's very high in sulfur. They're not good for you. Cheese is full of dairy, one of the most destructive things to your body. If you're hot, I used to eat cheese a lot too, Star. Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging you and I'm not admonishing you. I'm just being like a little bit of like direct, tough love here. Cheese produces a lot of mucus in the body. You probably have a lot of sinus congestion, a lot of postnasal drip, a lot of, that kind of thing going on. A lot of coughing up mucus. You might have asthma. You might be prone to bronchitis, pneumonia. You might have a lot of vaginal mucus coming out of your vagina, out in your stools, in your bowels. A lot of gunk in your eyes. It's very mucus forming. It coats the small intestine with mucus and bonded down in there as well with all the gluten that you've probably also been eating. And it causes a lot of digestive issues. It is not good for you. You just have to understand that. That's my first suggestion. Educate yourself about what you're putting in your body and about what it's doing to your body. And ask yourself if you want to continue to eat that way and to destroy your body that way. Then I would recommend that you just have a day where you don't eat this. Don't buy it. Don't eat it. What your body actually wants is fruit. And when you put enough fruit into your body, you're not going to be craving other things like eggs and cheese. For me, I just gave it up cold turkey because I was like, I want to heal my body. I'm done with this cancer. I'm done. I'm over it. I want to heal my body from the inside out. And I'm just going into this juice fast. And what I would recommend that you do, and anybody who's watching, is I recommend that you come and start this juice cleanse with us, which we're going to be starting on Monday, and just jump into it. And you're going to see that when you start replacing all of that stuff that you've been eating, right? I'm so glad that this is resonating with you, babe. When you stop eating all that other stuff that you're eating and you're influxing your body with high amounts of beautiful, raw, fresh fruit, your body is suddenly going to be, it changes. The changes happen immediately. All right. The changes happen immediately, and you do not have the cravings for those things. Those are more mental and emotional cravings for those foods, because when you see what they do to you and when you experience it, what they do to you, it's destroying your body. You can turn what you're experiencing in your body around. You can turn any symptom in your body, symptom of what? Symptom of acidosis, toxicity, and structural damage, often caused by the first two. Sometimes we're born with it, right? Sometimes we have a genetic predisposition, which is really just a predisposition to certain things that are similar to your parents and what their family members had, because you're all eating the same lifestyle, destroying the same body parts, and then passing on genetically to your children the destroyed body parts. Because look, niece is having to heal herself from weak lungs, right? Weak lungs that she inherited from a mom who was a high dairy mother, also having weak lungs. So when you have weak lungs, you pass that genetic makeup onto your children. So you got to take this seriously. Yeah, you may be out of childbearing age now, right? Because niece is a big grown woman, but you have, and you probably have similar conditions to your parents, right, Star? Probably your parents were also big cheese and dairy and egg and meat eaters and starchy eaters and all of that standard American diet. And it's just all passed down generationally. And every time we pass down this genetic makeup, it's like it just gets more and more denigrated and more deteriorated as it goes. And you can see this evidence. This is proof, right? Raw vegan niece, this is proof, right? Because you have inherited some of the same conditions that your mom has, because that was the raw material that made you. You can't make a cake with sour materials, with sour raw materials, with rancid flour, with bad ingredients, and expect to get something that tastes beautiful at the other end of it. We pass down what we have, which is why it's so important for us to share this with the younger generations, right? It's so important for our young men and women coming up, our 10-year-olds, our 12-year-olds, you know, our babies. It's so important to get, excuse me, to get our babies and our family members adapting and adopting to this way of life if we can. And there's so many ways to do that. I can have a whole other class on how to do that. I've done it with my 18-year-old, and my 24-year-old is on this journey as well. I did it by becoming the living example of this truth. And just like you are doing, niece, you're becoming the living example of this truth, because look at, mom is proud of you. How good does that feel? How good does that feel? And you are inspired now by your daughter. Your daughter has now become your teacher, right? The teacher becomes the student. Your daughter is now your teacher. And it's so amazing. That is so inspiring to look at her actively healing the very conditions that you know that you experience as well, right, Mom? So you're doing it, and you know what's great about this, Star? You are going to get it together. You know why? You know how I know? Couple of things. Number one, because niece is your daughter, and she loves you to pieces. She loves you like a daughter should. And the other way I know you're going to get it together is because you're here with the Real Juicy Detox now. And we are a community where we are doing this together. We're not in this alone. We are not in this alone. We've got the information. We've got the truth. We've got the community's support. And that is everything. We have the information. And you have the desire. That's the third way. And the first way that I know is because you're here. You have a desire to make these changes. So taking it one step at a time, taking it one step at a time and being loving with yourself, Because you know what? As a mother who's passed down the poor genetic materials that my mom gave me, and now when I started to realize all of this and started to learn about it and started to come to the awareness of what I passed on to my children, there's some emotional healing that I had to do around that. Some emotional healing of emotions like guilt, self-judgment, lack of worthiness, sadness. These are some of the emotional things that you're going to be healing, but you're in good company. You're here. You have a desire to do this. So jump on board. And I really want to encourage everybody to really jump on board, no matter where you are on your journey. Just start incorporating more living food into your diet. It is not hard. Stop being afraid of fruits. Go watch my fruit class that we did yesterday. Stop being afraid of fruit. It is our species specific diet that we were created to utilize and to use for fuel. Every cell in the body requires oxygen and simple sugar in order to create an energy cycle. Every cell in the body, it doesn't matter what kind of cell it is. So if you have healthy cells all throughout your body because you're having a high fruit, high raw, low fat diet, and you can start doing that with just keeping out all that other stuff and putting in massive quantities without being afraid of, oh my God, how many bananas? I can't have any bananas because that'll make me fat. That's what I used to think. And I think I'm pretty much living proof that that is not a thing anymore, right? The weight comes off easily and quickly, eating as much living food as you can, not dieting, not restricting your intake of fruits. That is very important, and just jumping in and doing it. Start taking out the stuff that is acidic forming, right? Acid forming for you, and replacing that with stuff that's alkalizing, hydrating, full of electrolytes, full of cellular dynamic energy. And it becomes so easy. Jessica says, yes, I don't have it together yet, but I want to. Awesome, Jessica. Oh my gosh, welcome. And I want to show my 5 kids at home a better way. This is the way to do it, babe. This is the way to do it. I'm so happy that you are here, and I'm so happy that you are doing this. Niece says, I also tried to get her to look at Dr. Morse's videos as well. And for some people, Dr. Morse might not resonate. For some people, I might not resonate. Find somebody that you resonate with and jump on board, baby. Jump on board. But yeah, I'm so glad that I'm here doing this with you guys. Thank you, Sahar. Sahar says, thank you, Burns. You truly are an inspiration to so many. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from our hearts, for the love you share. You're so welcome, honey. It gives me life. It lights me up. This is why I do it, because I love doing it. And I know that, listen, we all have the ability and the opportunity to change this world. If you can help one person heal from the pain that they are living in, that changes the energy and the vibration of this entire planet. The more people that we can help together collectively as a community, the more we help each other and support each other through this journey, the more we can all change the world. Because if there's less suffering in this world and you had a small part to do with that, maybe you shared this video out with somebody, maybe you shared it on your Facebook page, or you shared it on your social media, or you sent it in a private message to somebody, whatever it is that you can do to help even one person out of their suffering who is open to doing the work, the more you can change the world, right? And it is such an honor to be here, to be inspiring you guys to change the world. And by the way, Sahar, your daughter, Aaliyah, is changing the world. It is so inspiring to be a part of that journey with her as well. And yeah, Star says, I want to lose weight and feel better. I have 10 grandchildren. I want to be here for them. Yeah, baby, you're going to be here for them. You're going to lose the weight. The weight is just a byproduct of the inflammation buffering effect and the cholesterol buffering effect. the buffering effect, the effect that our bodies, the thing that our bodies do to protect us from our own acidity. Change the chemistry in your body by changing the chemistry of the food you put in your body, and you change your terrain. Your body no longer is acidic, therefore it does not need to rush in with inflammation of water, with inflammation of fat. And then you start eliminating all of the toxicity, and the weight just comes off. You stay away from the mucus forming foods like the cheeses, the dairies, the eggs, all of that stuff. You stay away from that. You heal your body, you get your kidneys filtering, you turn your adrenal glands back on, you get your bowels cleaned up, and you fix yourself good and proper finally. And you enjoy life, and you eat a ton of food, and you don't calorie restrict, and you don't have weird relationships with food anymore that say, "Ooh, don't eat fruit. Oh, I need to eat a burger because I need more energy, and oh, those eggs, I really need to No, you have something to live for. You have 10 grandchildren. You have a lot of life to live for yet. You have a lot of life in you yet. Get on board and just get her done, baby. Head down, blinders on, get this job done. That's my motto. I have another friend, says Carrie, that started raw food today for her and her 2 boys. That's amazing, Carrie. Look at how many people you're inspiring. Wow. Isn't that amazing? She's had some extreme health issues, including cancer. So I'm so excited she is changing her diet. That is amazing. Share this video out with her. Share this out with her as well. Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome, babe. You're part of the juicy gang now. You're here. What do you mean inflammation from water? Well, our body rushes in with inflammation in order to help counteract the high acid hit in our body. That's what the inflammation buffering system, that's what it is. So, if you were to drop a bit of battery acid on your hand, Paula, and what's your first instinct? Go wash it out with water right away. Put it under a lot of running water, wash it off, right? But you need a lot of water to wash off a comparable small amount of acid. And by the way, chemotherapy is the same pH, it's the same as battery acid in terms of acidity. So for example, cancer patients who've undergone chemotherapy, you think they're inflamed? They might not be overweight because all of that chemotherapy has completely destroyed their body, and they may have a lot of symptoms like excessive thinness from their protocol, but they're still inflamed. Their joints are inflamed, their system is inflamed. So the first buffering system that our body does to protect us from ourselves and from our acids is it rushes in with water. The second buffering effect is the cholesterol buffering effect, rushes in with cholesterol, right? The third buffering effect is the calcium buffering effect. It pulls calcium out of our bones in order to cool down the acid hit. Again, what do we usually do? What do people usually do when they have stomach acid, when they have heartburn? They take some Tums, it's calcium, so that it cools down the acid in the stomach. Well, the body has a natural calcium buffering effect to do that automatically on its own, because calcium is our largest mineral source in the body. So it naturally is going to pull it from the body. But again, remember, more amino acids in the form of, in an acid environment, if you eat more meat, that meat protein is going to combine with the excess minerals in the body, causing everything, all those minerals to stick together, agglomerate, harden up. You're going to get kidney stones, you're going to get gallstones, you're going to get liver stones, you're going to get all kinds of rheumatoid arthritis, bone stiffening and hardening up. It's like a vicious cycle. So we have to respect our body and not beat ourselves up for being inflamed. All right. This is our body's way of protecting us. You got to love yourself where you're at, but you have to turn it around, and you have to alkalize your body through beautiful, living, hydrating food, primarily fruits, baby, fruits, melons, and berries. Guys, tonight has been an amazing class. I feel like Somebody said it above, and there was a comment. Consciousness, you said it. Someone's life is going to change tonight. Someone's life is going to change today because of this class. That is my mantra that I go into before class starts every single time. And Star, I'm pretty sure you're one of those people. And I hope that anybody else that's been watching, that this has been a class that has sort of really helped you open your eyes about the truth behind protein and to see food from a different perspective now. And thank you guys so much. I love you all. And I will see you in the Real Juicy Detox group. And tomorrow is our next class. Our next class tomorrow is probably going to be a cooking class where we're going to make something with those sprouted chickpeas so that you guys have an idea of something else to use instead of meat or beans for a nice, rounded, protein balanced meal for yourself. So I hope that you guys tune in for that. I will announce in the Facebook group when I will be live with that class because I don't know as yet. I love you guys. It'll probably be an afternoon class, by the way, because it'll be a cooking kitchen class. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming to class. And yeah, keep it juicy, baby. Keep it juicy.